Hi everyone. In my first video on this series, I discussed the first reason people fail IELTS repeatedly. And one of the scams there is that IELTS is just a test of English. So once you are able to speak English and write English, you are good to go. Just register for IELTS and then go to the examination hall and write the exam. No wonder people repeat it 4, 5, 6 times. So I've discussed that in total. Okay, the need, for advanced preparations. You understand, to learn it, the strategies, the best strategies that can help you to ace this exam just once. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the second factor responsible for repeated failure in IELTS. And that factor is lack of adequate preparations. Lack of adequate preparations. From experience over the years, some start to look for tutors just few days to the exam. I've met someone who wanted to write IELTS in 3 days' time. Is now looking for someone to just teach her the strategies. So with this with those strategies, she believed she would just go to the examination hall and apply them and make it just once. Sad to say, these ones are bound to repeat the exam. And so the encouragement here is you need to give yourself enough time for preparations. At least a month from experience. Give at least a month of preparations. Some can even give themselves up to 2 or even 3 months preparations for this exam. What is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So goes the adage. And so give yourself at least a month, as from a month of thorough preparations. Aside from what you'll be taught by your tutor, the strategies, the worldview, you also need to practice it out yourself. The reason for practicing out the IELTS questions, likely exam questions beforehand is this. You have 40 questions to answer in just an hour, under examination condition. Now, those who only learned the strategies without practicing out typical IELTS questions, 40 questions, timing themselves strictly under 1 hour, will not be able to meet up with timing during the exam. Quite recently, I met a lady who was lamenting when the examination came out because she made, according to her, only the speaking out of the 4 sections of the IELTS. And why? She said before the examination that all she needed was a strategy. She doesn't need to sit down on her own and start practicing, timing herself. There was no problem. She was advised the need for her to sit, time herself, and practice. There are 3 sections, that make up the 40 questions. So each of the section has time allotment, which you have to follow when practicing consistently like that. So with this, you'll be able to master your timing adequately before the examination period. So if you practice with time like this, with timing, for about a month, I bet you will sit for this exam and make it excellently at just the first sitting. It's a sure bet. But without preparations, with timing in mind, it will not work. So what is the encouragement here? That give yourself enough time for preparations. Apart from what your tutor will teach you, I always use this adage that IELTS, or this analogy, that it's just like teaching someone to drive. The instructor will put you through the nitty-gritty to identify, the parts, that make a vehicle to move. Okay? We even practice with you for maybe a week or two. Okay? But to be an effective driver, what do you need to do? Do you just relax that, yes, my instructor has taught me how to drive? And so you relax, maybe after 5-6 months or after a year, you just step behind the wheel and you zoom to the express. That will be suicidal, not so? So, as your instructor has instructed you, what do you need to do? You get a car immediately and start practicing, around the streets. Okay? Where it is not dangerous, you practice gradually. I even know of some women who would use the opportunity to take their kids to school that is not far from home, gradually like that, until they now master driving. Their hand will be strong, so to say, on the steering wheel, and gradually they also gain the confidence to now hit the expressway and start driving. So it takes a lot of personal effort, personal practice to be a good driver. Similarly, IELTS takes a lot of personal practice sessions. Timing yourself, reviewing yourself before the examination in order to make it worse. So that is the advice I have for us this time around. The second advice is give yourself enough time for preparations. So watch out for my next video on the next factor that will prevent you from repeating IELTS just like that, and you make it just once. See you then.